What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar from Geekster Labs, and today I have a product I want to show you that was sent to me free for review from Elemake, and this is their keyless fingerprint smart door lock. So this product retails for a little over $100. It's available in black right now, and there's 4 different ways that this door lock is able to be unlocked. So you can use app control, which uses Bluetooth and an app on your phone to be able to unlock it. There's also a touch screen keypad where you can type a key code into it to unlock it. It also features a fingerprint scanner to scan your thumb to unlock, and also just a regular key. So really interesting product. This is made to be used for internal purposes. This is not an outdoor door lock. It's not IP rated or meant to be dealing with like weather or rain or humidity or things like that. And so I'm going to give you guys a quick tour, show you what comes included in the box. I'll give you some close-up details of the door lock itself, and then I'll show you guys the app and give you a tour of some of its features and functions. So without further ado, let's get to the review. So here are all the pieces that come included inside the box. So of course we have the door lock itself right there. We have our strike plate. We have our hardware screws, our keys, our USB, micro USB cable. I'll tell you what that's for in just a second. We have our installation guides and instruction manual. And the one thing that's not included with this door lock that it does require is AA battery. So it needs to be, you need to have 4 AA batteries in order to power the door lock. So let's take a closer look at the door lock itself. Alright, so here we have the door lock itself, and as you can see, it's integrated into the door handle, and it has a really cool look to it. It has like a nice diamond chamfered kind of edges here. As you can see, it is available in black, like I mentioned earlier. I don't think it's available in any other colors, but it has a really cool look to it. It's not going to look like any of the other doorknobs in the home, but I mean, that's just the way it goes, right? It looks really nice, it looks really sharp, so at least it's not like a boring design in itself. And so the one thing to consider when you're using this or picking a door for what to put this on, like I said, first off, it has to be internal use. It's not something that you could put outside, where the doorknob would be outside of the home, because it's not IP rated for water or humidity or anything like that. And it's probably not a door you would want to put this on that has a deadbolt lock above it, right? Because if that's the case, you'll just have to keep the deadbolt always unlocked, because this is what's going to be controlling the locked door, not the deadbolt. Otherwise, you'd be having to still use a key to unlock. You'd have to use your fingerprint or whatever for this one, and then you still have to use a key for the deadbolt. So for me personally, in my home, my garage door, the door that leads into my garage, doesn't have a deadbolt, and so it's just the door handle with the lock on it. So this is perfect for that type of scenario. So like if you get into the garage, you can use your fingerprint scanner, open that door and get into the house. But for my purposes, I'm actually going to put this on my closet door in my office, because my closet door actually doesn't have a lock on it, and there are some higher priced items that I keep in the closet. So if someone was to break into the house, they can't just walk into my closet and grab a bunch of my gear. So this would be something I'll have in there. But as you can see, it does look really sharp. It looks really nice. We have some branding right there, the Elemake logo on the side. And so here is the fingerprint scanner. So once you touch it, it does have an LED light that lights up to let you know where it is. And then you just put your thumb on top of that. Obviously I haven't set it up, so it's not going to lock it right now. But then on the front of the thing, we have the keypad. So let's see if I can get that to light up. So there's the keypad on the front. You can see all those numbers right there, and you can actually just type in your code through there. And then on the bottom, we have the spot for the keyhole, so like it does work with the key. And we have a USB or a micro USB port right there. And so the point of the micro USB port is because this does use 4 AA batteries, and the 4 AA batteries goes into the back end of the door handle. If those were to die on you, you could plug in a micro USB to USB to like a backup battery, and this will power it up, so that way you could still use a fingerprint or the keypad. But if you had the key with you, it doesn't matter if it has any power or not. You could just use the key handle and unlock that. Obviously, it will need to have battery power in order for you to use the app with the Bluetooth to be able to unlock it. So that is something in there as a backup in case it does die and the batteries go out on you. So like I said, overall it has a really nice look, really nice smooth finish. It definitely looks pretty cool and high tech. So I'm going to go ahead and install this on the door, and then I'm going to give you guys a demo of the app and show you the features and functions of how that works with the keyless fingerprint smart door lock from Elemake. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so I've installed the door lock into the door, and it was very, very simple, very easy to do. It only took me a few minutes. And so I've already set this up with the app. I'm not going to show that to you guys because it's such a simple, easy process. Once this powers up, you open the app and it just launches up and it shows up in the list. It takes less than a minute to sync it up there. So while in there, I set up my fingerprint and my passcode for the doorknob in the front of it. I'll show you what that looks like in the app in just a second, but just to show you how this works. So as long as you put your fingerprint in there, it'll let you unlock, and then within a few seconds, it locks itself again, so someone can't come from behind you and open it right back after you've already opened it. So it only lasts for like a few seconds. It's the same thing with the passcode, and it's 6 digits. I think I typed it wrong. Oh, I messed up. Let's try one more time. Same thing. So unlocks it. Within a few seconds, it disengages and that no longer works, right? So that's pretty good to make sure that you can get in, leave out, and it's still open for someone just to go behind you and open it up. So let's go ahead and launch the app right now. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So here we have with the app. I already, like I said, synced it up with the application. So let's take a look at the app. So on the bottom here, there's 3 other sections. We're not going to dive into those because those are kind of meant for use with other devices, because this app does work with cameras and things like that. We're just playing with the doorknob, so we're not really going to look into any of these other sections. We're going to focus on the home. And so here we have the Yee lock, is what it mentions, or how it lists it here. So when you launch that, these are the options for the door, the door knob right here. So if I hold down the center to unlock it, there you go, it unlocks the door and I'm able to open it up, right? And the one thing to keep in mind is I'm only using this with Bluetooth, so you have to be within Bluetooth distance up to 30 feet from the door to be able to unlock it with the app. If you want to be able to unlock it from anywhere in the world, like with Wi-Fi, you have to get the Wi-Fi gateway and set it up with that, and then you can have that option. So one of the other options I'll show you on the app that would be kind of cool to have if you do have the Wi-Fi gateway is if it's a dynamic password. So if someone is wherever, you're trying to get into the door, but you're out of the house, you're far, far away, you can actually give them a temporary password. It just dynamically creates a number. You give them that 8-digit number, and they have up to 5 minutes to use that number, and then the number no longer works. So that's something that I would use if I was through the Wi-Fi gateway. I wouldn't necessarily use that option if I was using the Bluetooth, because that means I'm in the same house as them and I could just open it up for them, right? But this is an option I would use if I was using the Wi-Fi gateway. At the very top of the app, we can see the battery level. It shows 100%. And so once it gets to 25%, it'll alert you through the app to let you know it's getting low on batteries. And it will also let you know on the doorknob as well. Once you unlock it, if there's less than 25% battery life in here, it'll give you like a special beep to let you know it needs to be replaced. And so those 4 AA batteries should last you a pretty long time, I guess depending on how often you use it. With this being on my closet, I don't go in here very much, maybe once a day, if even that, so the battery probably is going to last me a really long time. So let's get back into the app and check out the bottom section here. So we have member management. So this is where we can have family members and other members. So I'm just going to read what it mentions here, what the difference between those two things. So administrators can set passwords for themselves or other users. Family members can set passwords for their use. Other members can set passwords only when they are granted the permission to set passwords. So if they wanted to, I would basically set up family members. I would use family members as, like it says, those that live in your house, your family, your wife, your kids, whatever. Anyone that needs to have regular access to it, that you want to give them almost administrator password or administration pass access to some of this information, or even coworkers, like regular coworkers. If you're going to use this lock on a gear closet where it keeps track of all your camera gear or whatever, and there's people that are regularly be using it, maybe you would put them under a family member. But there's other occasional people that aren't going to be getting to it all the time very often, that you don't want to have them to be able to change their passwords and such. I would set them up as an other member, and you could list them in here. And so the benefit of having those two types of things listed is when you go to unlocking records at the very bottom, this actually shows you who's been going into using the lock. So if there's a piece of gear missing or something's not in the space or whatever that you're looking for, you want to find out who was the last person in there. This gives you a whole long listing of all the people that have done it. It shows you if they used their finger to unlock it, if they did the passcode to unlock it, or if they use the app. Also, it'll list it here as well. And that is basically a nice way to keep track of who's getting into that space or using that door. And then the other small option on the bottom is the smart linkage. So this is basically like scenes. So this is kind of similar to like what I mentioned at the very beginning of the app tour, where if you have other devices like cameras or other types of smart door locks, you can have them up to where you can set them up to where they can link up together, and you can set up different scenes or scenarios where, you know, like when one condition is met, it will perform one task, right? So like if this, then that. So if there's a wrong door, if there's a wrong fingerprint that's been scanned into it, it'll send you an alert to let you know, hey, someone's trying to get into this that's trying to use a fingerprint scanner that doesn't have the right fingerprint scanner. So like if you notice on the bottom, see the hijacking alarm option that's at the very bottom right there? That's an example of someone that's trying to get into there but they don't have the passcode. It'll let me know, and it'll give me an alert letting me know like, hey, someone was trying to get into there and they don't have access to it. So there's different things you can set, like rules almost, or scenes, to where you can have it to do different types of things. So if one thing is met, if one circumstance is met, then it will perform, you know, unsaid action, whatever that action is that you want it to do. Once you get into settings, that's the other place here. So this is where you set up the fingerprint scanner, and you can set up multiple fingers if you want, dip both thumbs or both pointer fingers, whatever it is. You can set them up here. We have the password management, which is the code. So basically, if you want to change out your code, that's where you would change it. And then you have temporary passwords. And so this is kind of something you would use, especially if you don't have the Wi-Fi gateway to give someone access to the room temporarily, but you want to have a one-time temporary password. You can set it up right now. So in case randomly a week from now someone needs to get into there, you can give them the temporary one-time password, and once they use it, they can't get back in there. They can open the door, grab what they need to grab. Once they lock it, that's it. They can't get back in there, and you have to set up or change the password to a different one. So this is kind of something you would use for that type of scenario. So there's online passwords and offline passwords. It says online, we recommend that you use the password when the Bluetooth connection is stable. Offline password, we recommend that you use the offline password in case there is no or unstable Bluetooth connection. So that's basically the two scenarios where you would use that. So the app is pretty standard, straightforward. It's really easy to use. I don't think I would make many changes to this, and I probably wouldn't even use the app to unlock the door, since I have my thumbprint and my passcode in the front. You do have the option available to you. The only time I would probably use the app is when I want to see who's been opening the door or getting into there to grab gear and things like that. But besides that, the app works pretty smoothly. I haven't had any issues with it. And the doorknob itself is a really nice product. I definitely recommend you guys checking it out if this is something that you're trying to find to where you want to have protect or be able to limit the access to certain areas, whether it's a bedroom, whether it's a gear closet, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whatever it is. Maybe you want to put this type of thing for your basement door, so make sure you know that people aren't just getting to the basement, and that you know who's coming in and out of those areas. It's kind of a cool little option to have for there, and it doesn't cost too much. It's pretty easy to use. It's very simple to set up, and I recommend it for those of you that are looking for this type of product and maybe have this type of use in your home or even in your business as well. So those are all my thoughts on the Elemake keyless fingerprint smart door lock. So if you guys are interested in checking out this product online, like I said, I'll have a link in the description down below. If you want to check out some of my other reviews, you can click on two of the clips over there to the side. And as always, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be notified of all my new reviews as they get dropped on my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video review.